Welcome to another edition of Modern Dallas TV. I'm Jeff Levine with moderndallas.net. This week we feature townhomes, a whole development on Fitzhugh in Dallas, as well as stop by CINQ Gallery and look at the amazing sculptures by John Peralta, as well as Modern Dallas Cool Spaces stops by Sputnik Modern. Check out their whole collection of beautiful mid-century modern products, as well as stick around for the art scene, the calendar, and enjoy this edition of Modern Dallas TV. Experience LED at Lights Fantastic Pro, our sponsor on Modern Dallas TV. Lighting is changing at warp speed, and there's definitely an LED revolution going on. You'll see a curated selection of some of the coolest new LED fixtures from some of the best brands around the world. Visit their 12,000 square foot showroom minutes from the new Nebraska Furniture Mart in Louisville off the Sam Rayburn Tollway. Come see for yourself how lighting can enhance and change your next project. Modern Dallas Real Estate this week is here on Fitzhugh in Townhouse Row with the Townhouse Queen, Nadine Mayer from Dave Perry Miller. Nadine, you really have capitalized on the townhouses in this area. Tell us about what they're all about, the different developments, and this is a unique segment in the market.
Yes, definitely. Over here off of Fitzhugh, it's definitely become the east side, as everyone's kind of calling it now. We have over here, it's Larkspur Development. They are a development team that in just a short amount of time have really dominated this area. Currently under construction, we have the Ivy Phase 1 that sold out last year, and currently we have Ivy Phase 2 under construction. We have the Quarter, which is also on Fitzhugh, and then we're standing currently in Fuqua, which is a 6-unit townhome development. We capture every price point over here, so it's really a neat market, and we've had a lot of buyers really jump on over here. So
tell us, what is the profile of a buyer who's buying here? Obviously it's sort of a transitional neighborhood,
yeah,
but it has a lot of benefits.
Yeah, definitely. Our buyers have been very distinguished buyers. They are young professionals or empty nesters that are really wanting a quality product, but not necessarily wanting the big house. They're wanting a lock and leave product that's built well. The quality is superior in all of these Larkspur products. They're using fine details such as glass house storefront windows, a lot of Ansax black backsplashes, just refined materials that you would find in, let's say, an $800,000 home. So our buyer loves that, but they just want a product that's lock and leave. So that's been our buyer.
So this neighborhood obviously offers a lot of different diversity from food, restaurants. Tell us a little bit about the neighborhood and what can people expect if they come down here and look at these townhomes?
Well, we've had, it's been an interesting transition. This neighborhood just 2 years ago was just so different. Over the past even, 18 months, it's changed so much. There's a lot of big commercial players that are coming into the neighborhood, a lot of retail. We're starting to get more restaurants. Of course, we have Henderson Avenue, which is just 2 blocks over, so you could walk there and eat at all those wonderful restaurants. And then at the end of Fitzhugh, JLB is doing a big apartment mixed-use type product. And so our buyers are moving here because they see the growth, they see the equity that they're gonna hopefully get in a purchase long-term. It's been, I guess, talked about as the new uptown, and I truly believe all of our buyers are moving from uptown. They wanna be a part of something great, and that's what this neighborhood's becoming. So,
well, it's a great neighborhood, obviously close to Henderson Avenue, close to downtown.
Yeah.
Great restaurants abound this area.
Yeah.
Nadine, thanks for taking the time. It's a wonderful development.
Yeah.
We see a lot of great things coming up out here from Larkspur, as well as some developments maybe in Oak Cliff in the future.
Oh, definitely. This developer is really making a mark on Dallas. We have product available from $350 to, $460 is the unit we're standing in right now. So we have something for everybody. And as I was telling Jeff, it's truly 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, yards, rooftop terraces. I mean, I think Larkspur is a developer that could provide anything to any buyer, no matter what their need is. So, yeah.
And if they want to see it, what website do they go to?
They can go to the Larkspur development website, or they can reach out to us at dallasintownhomes.com, and that's our website that kind of captures that townhome condo market. So
wonderful. And if you want to see it on our website, you can go to moderndallas.net and get all the details. Thanks,
great.
ladies.
Thank you so much, Jeff.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Modern Dallas Art this week is in the Dallas Design District at CINQ Gallery, and I'm here with Austin artist John Peralta. We're talking about his collection of deconstructed Berettas, typewriters, saxophones. John, tell us a little bit, how did you get to this point, but more importantly, tell us a little bit about your background.
All right, I appreciate you interviewing me today. I came to being an artist quite late in life, and I spent most of my life I guess playing at art, if you will, being very interested in it. But I had a career in business, in the nonprofit sector, running a consulting company, and but always just had this interest in art, but never really thought I could do it seriously. But I was traveling and living abroad for many years, and I remember when I was living in Hong Kong quite a few years ago, I was leafing through a magazine and saw on the back a drawing of a bicycle in the exploded view, or an exploded diagram, they call them. And I've always been interested in, and I've always found them very interesting and artistic. And at that point, it first dawned on me how amazing it would be to see a real object in that view. And so I began experimenting, looking for objects that I could try. But living in Hong Kong, I had a very small flat, no room for a bicycle, certainly if it were exploded. So I looked for smaller objects, and I found a pocket watch. And so that's where I began playing and experimenting with how to suspend the pieces, the way to display them artistically, and from there it then began to blossom into other watches, and then I just made the leap into my first typewriter, and the reaction that people had was so overwhelmingly positive that I began to do more and more of these sort of pieces.
So the typewriter, is it from a specific year? Because it's not just...
Well, that's an interesting question, because the first typewriter I did was a Remington #1, which was the original. It's the very first portable typewriter ever made, but it also was the very same model that my grandmother gave me, that she had bought new when she and my grandfather started their business. And then she gave it to me when I was a teenager, and that's the machine that I learned to type on.
Wow.
And so it had a lot of sentimental value for me in taking it apart. And that's the piece that you see here.
Wow,
as well. It's the same model.
Wonderful. So then you move into Berettas, saxophones, and you've also been commissioned to do some guitars.
That's right. That's right. I essentially just choose objects that I find interesting myself, or I think would be interesting. Basically, the rule of thumb that I follow is that the more parts and the more, the more efficiently and elegantly that a piece is engineered, at least from my perspective, the more I think it will make a great sculpture. So I imagine a piece in exploded view, even if I've never seen it. And most of these pieces, you would never see a Remington typewriter in exploded view because they're just too old, from the 1920s. And the same with a saxophone. So I imagine them in an exploded view. And if I can imagine them being beautiful and attractive, then that's what I'll do. And so same with an electric guitar. I'd always had in my mind that an electric guitar could be a beautiful sculpture. So I mentioned that to the gallery owners in Chicago, and they thought that was a great idea, and that if I did one, that they would take it. And so that's where that began. I built one for them, and then Fender, the guitar maker, saw the guitar that I built, which was a Stratocaster, and so they commissioned me to build a couple for them for the national convention. Wow! And yeah, so it's just gone on from there, and it's a bit overwhelming because the whole thing is exploding into and faster than I ever imagined it could.
Well, there's no doubt about it. There's a reason for it.
I never really thought that people would be that interested in it. I really and truly was just doing it because I thought it was interesting. But I never really have understood. Even now, I don't really understand why people think that they're beautiful or whatever.
Well, you know, for me, I'm just the onlooker looking at the pieces, and I think there's a sort of an intricacy that is so alluring that you want to look at. And you, in all our minds, I think we all use electronics, appliances, you know, guitars, whatever it is. We don't really know what it looks like on the inside. And this is a great way of explaining it to an average person. I mean, look at this Beretta, it's fantastic.
That's right.
So it's a great collection.
Well,
we wish you all the best. I know this is going to be a great success. You can see the collection here at CINQ at 905 Dragon in the Dallas Design District. John, thanks for taking the time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Modern Dallas Cool Spaces is here today at Sputnik Modern in the Dallas Design District. I'm here with the owner, Chris Thurman. Chris, this is an unbelievable space with such amazing, unique mid-century modern pieces. Tell us a little bit about Sputnik.
Sure, well thank you first off. Sputnik Modern specializes in significant 20th century design, designer and architect design furniture from the 1930s to the 1980s. We deal in a lot of American design, Scandinavian design, and craft furniture of the period.
What are some of the significant, I mean, obviously you have some great visual displays. I love the one in the front window with the two George Nelson sofas.
Sure, thanks. I like to think that everything in the shop is special in its own right. Right now in the front window we have a pair of matching George Nelson sling sofas designed in the early 50s for Herman Miller.
And some of the other pieces, you've got some great buffets.
Yeah, a couple of pieces you looked at today. One was a Paul Evans Cityscape credenza designed for directional. It's the largest of the versions, an 8 foot. Another was a George Nakashima wall mount cabinet. And I believe the other was a buffet by Edward Wormley for Dunbar.
So, you know, a variety of pieces come to mind, buffets, sofas. You've got a lot of unique pieces, you know, wall dividers. Are these just significant pieces that you collect, you purchase? How does it all work? Because, you know, these are all aged pieces, so.
Absolutely. So we really try to curate what we sell. We look for very specific things, specific designers. And I hope that it feels that way when you walk into the store, that it all kind of makes sense and tells a story. It's not that we are searching out to find another sofa or another credenza. Oh, so we buy from all over the world. This business is all about developing relationships with people who understand your aesthetic and understand kind of what you're trying to do. And so I build relationships with those people and purchase things from all over the country, all over the world. Bring them in, have my crew restore them, and then try to provide the best quality merchandise I can to Dallas.
So the one unique piece we saw was the chair that was on top of the table.
Yeah, that chair is pretty special. That's the Elizabeth chair, designed by Ib Kofod Larsen. That one, it's original leather with amazing patina. That chair was named after Queen Elizabeth. She once went to Denmark and fell in love with the chair and brought 3 of them back to live with.
That's not one of them.
That's not one of them.
The one from the collection. So if people want to stop by, where are you located?
We're at 1329 Slocum Street in the Design District. We're here 11 to 5, Monday through Friday.
And if you want to see most of the inventory, if not all the inventory, on your website, it's at sputnikmodern.com.
Correct. All the restored merchandise is at sputnikmodern.com. We have an entire warehouse full of unrestored merchandise that's also available, not on the website.
Wonderful. Thanks a lot for taking the time. This is a great space, great ideas for furniture if you love mid-century modern.
Thank you so much. Nice having you.
Thanks, Chris. To wrap up this week on Modern Dallas TV, on March the 5th, Haley Henman Gallery in Trinity Groves opens up their show with Angela Ford on March the 5th from 5 to 8 p.m. On the calendar of events on March the 3rd, Dallas Architecture Forum has their lecture series with Inaki Abayos as well as Renata Sentkowicz. It's at the Magnolia Theater at 7 p.m. Check out all the details and ticket information at moderndallas.net on our calendar page. We have some great articles. Check out our current article with Todd Camplin, a review for the week on a gallery in town, as well as some great stories by Georgina Callan. We have open houses every week. Check out our website at moderndallas.net, the real estate page, as well as find us on Facebook at Modern Dallas, as well as Modern Living Texas, and on Instagram, Modern Living Texas, and Twitter at Modern Living Texas as well. And if you're in the market for a modern, mid-century modern, contemporary home, high-rise or loft, we simply have the finest moderns in Dallas. For this week, like every week, it's a wrap. See you later.